We had an interesting question from one of our users, which I thought actually would be useful to answer via a video because it's of perhaps wider interest, and it also shows a couple of interesting features in Adaptable or powerful AG grid extension. So the question is whether it's possible for row change alerts, either added or removed, to actually have a rule. So rather than to fire on any row being added or removed, to specify certain limitations on when you want the alert to happen. So let me show you what I mean. So we have two predicates, which are concepts in Adaptable that allow you to provide basic rules. And as a result, we have what we call row change alerts, as you can see, and you can do row added and you can do row removed. So let's see what we mean in practice. So if I click in this example here, and I say I want to have new row, then when I click save, the row gets added and this alert gets fired. And the reason why is because we've done a row change and a rule of row added. And likewise in this demo here, if I delete a row, the row gets deleted, the alert gets activated, and again the reason is because we have the predicate of removed row. But that doesn't allow us to fire the alert only on certain conditions. So how can you do that? Well, the way you do that in Adaptable is not to use a predicate, but to use the other mechanism we have for decision making, which we use for calculated columns, alerts, filters, and that's our expressions. And expressions are a lot more powerful than predicates, and they come in different shapes and sizes. We have aggregations, we have cumulative, quantile, and one of the types of expressions we have are observable. And as the name implies, they observe your grid and they react accordingly. And typically that's to do changes in your rows or grids. So, tell me if this has not changed in 10 minutes, tell me if this is the highest price today. But we also, as you can see, have row added and row removed expressions, observable expressions. But let's look at the last one first. So row removed, in this case here, we've actually provided something fairly small. And you can see in the code that all we've done is just an observable expression for row removed. And what that means is when I delete my row, I get my alert. But again, that also doesn't help us with the rule. But here we have added one in this example here. So let's again go full screen. Let's look at the code. And in this example here, we've added an alert. Let me find it. Here we are, to say the observable expression is row added, but we've also added where the language is TypeScript and has wiki equals true. And in fact, if you want to see that here, you can. So it's an observable alert. The rule is row added, but with a where clause, language is TypeScript, has wiki equals true. If we wanted, we could add a time frame, so it's only if it happens in the last 20 minutes or today, etc., etc. So how does this differ to the other one? Well, because we have a rule, we're now able to limit when the alert gets fired. So for instance, if I add an alert called won't fire, and the reason is because the language is JavaScript, so even though has wiki is true, the row gets added, but we don't have the alert. But obviously, if we have one which does meet, will fire, and this time we make the language TypeScript, which is what the rule here says, and we make has wiki true, then now we should see a warning alert, which indeed we do, to tell me the row was added. So there we are. You can use observables in Adaptable, as well as for row changes and very powerful constructs like that, to also tell you if rows have been added or removed, and you can use the where clause to limit when that alert gets fired, so you're only told about certain new rows. And I'm sure you can kind of think of many powerful ways which this would help your projects and applications. As always, thank you for watching. If you'd like to learn more about Adaptable, please get in touch. We'll be delighted to provide you with a free, no obligation trial license or a personalized demo so you can try out Adaptable for yourself.